Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Art Startup Challenge. Right? So exciting. I'm Nicole Reed, the General Manager of Community Futures South Fraser. Thank you so much for joining us here for this special evening, the 2026 Art Startup Challenge live pitch event. Woo! Before we begin, we want to respectfully acknowledge that we're gathered here on Soltamuk, the unceded traditional lands of the Stalo, the people of the river, where we live, work, and create. At Community Futures, we believe that creative entrepreneurs are a vital part of a thriving local economy. Whether you're starting a handmade goods brand, launching a gallery, or turning your art into a business, we're here to help. From business planning and one-on-one coaching to flexible financing and practical workshops, we support artists in building sustainable, income-generating ventures. We understand that art isn't just a passion, it's also a livelihood. And that's why we're proud to walk alongside artists as they turn their ideas into income and their creativity into community impact. Over the past 8 weeks, the Art Startup Challenge participants have taken part in a business development journey designed to help turn their creative work into thriving, sustainable enterprises. Tonight is the culmination of that work, and we're so excited to celebrate with you. This event is also being live streamed, so a big welcome to everyone tuning in online on our YouTube channel. Hi, Mom. Here's what's coming up. Live pitches from 5 amazing finalists, real-time feedback from our panel of esteemed judges, a chance for you to vote for your favorite artist, business in our People's Choice Award, drinks and appetizers for you to enjoy throughout the evening. So now I would like to introduce all those great judges we have here in the front row. They'll be offering feedback and helping determine tonight's grand prize winners. First, I'll start with, on my left, Jason Lum, currently Chilliwack City Councillor and longtime regional leader. Jason is known for championing innovation, economic development, and strong community partnerships. A business owner and organic farmer, he makes great garlic. He brings a practical, collaborative approach to leadership. Madeline Benson. Madeline serves on the board for the Chilliwack Arts Council and the editorial board of Refract, a PhD candidate in visual studies at the University of California. Her work focuses on environmental justice, land-based art, and legal disputes. Jean-Louis Blue, Executive Director of the Chilliwack Cultural Centre. JL creates immersive, interdisciplinary productions and innovative audience experiences. His collaborative creative leadership earned him Calgary's top 40 under 40 recognition in 2014. We know how old you are now. Nettie Tam. With more than 30 years of experience in economic development, Nettie is the Manager of Economic Development for Chilliwack Economic Partners Corporation, or CEPCO. Rosalind Shep. Rosalind is the Executive Director of the Chilliwack Museum and Archives, a cultural leader and creative thinker passionate about creating spaces where art, history, and people connect. Drawn to storytelling, design, and meaningful gathering places, she believes museums and galleries should feel welcoming, curious, and alive. And finally, Christy Vanden Bosch. Christy blends her business degree knowledge with her appreciation of the arts while judging in this competition. She is currently the treasurer for the Chilliwack Arts Council. So thank you all for being here and lending your insight and support. And now, before we jump into the pitches, I'd like to invite up Lise Oakley, Executive Director of the Chilliwack Arts Council, to speak about how our journey together started, as well as things that are happening at the Arts Council. Lise has been an incredible partner in this challenge and an unwavering advocate for arts in our community. Lise.
I do remember the first time I sat with Nicole for coffee, Azuri's, and she said that she had an idea of partnering on a business development program for artists, and I was definitely on board. I myself have been an artist in my earlier years and can really relate to a lot of the folks that are coming through this program. I was lucky. I'm bilingual, and I was able to participate in a lot of francophone artist development and business development programs across Canada, and it really impacted my life and my community. So I'm still friends with a lot of people that I did week-long camps with, or people that I've toured with, and I really see that in the last 2 years. So if you ask anyone that participated last year, and we have some participants here, one of the big pieces of feedback I received is the connections that they made. So they're out in the community. We have Travis Clark, who was a participant last year. He opened up Myth Valley Studio, and to me that warms my heart because I see people that were participating in the Art Startup Challenge last year, and they're visiting the shop and they're building community, and these things are happening by artists, which is really what we want to see. We're not here to compete, we're here to collaborate and support. And also this year, seeing some of those friendships that are being made. I haven't been as involved in the last 8 weeks as I was the previous year, but I definitely can hear and see those bonds, and really that's what art is, and that's what community is as well, is just creating those networks and partnerships. And I see a lot of the people on the judge panel here too, where we want to create partnerships as cultural leaders in the community. So thank you for being out here. I'm sure I know a lot of you, so you got my LinkedIn profile a little bit, but yeah, thanks for coming out tonight, and thanks for the partnership.
Thank you so much, Lise. And also helping this year is Megan Tebeckhurst. Megan is a community development special and facilitator, she's over in that corner, who believes the arts are at the heart of a connected, thriving community. They facilitated and championed our participants through this program, ensuring an environment where everyone could thrive. Through Thrive and Connect, her business, they continue this work driven by the belief that everyone deserves access to the support, tools, and connections that make growth possible. Before we move on, so thank you, Megan. Before we move on into the finalist pitches, I'd like to take a moment to thank the incredible supporters who you see here on the screen. We won't go into detail just yet. You'll hear more about them in a little bit, but please know your support has made a real difference in making the Art Startup Challenge possible. All right, who's ready to get started? You guys are such a fun crowd. We have 5 incredible entrepreneurs stepping up tonight to pitch their business live for a shot at the ultimate prize package and to win your hearts for the coveted People's Choice Award. Each pitch will be 5 minutes max. When time's up, you'll hear me ring the bell or wake up, Jason. That's the cue for our finalists to wrap it up. Then we'll roll into 5 minutes of questions from our esteemed panel of judges. So let's cheer them on, show some love, and get this pitch party started. We will kick things off with our first finalist, Greg, a portrait photographer reviving the century-old art of tintype photography. Driven by the need to offer an antidote to the fast-paced economy, he embraces the slow and meticulous processes to bring one-of-a-kind photos to life. Let's welcome Greg to the stage.
Thank you, Nicole. My name is Greg. I'm an operations manager and photographer, and for the last few years, last year in particular, I've had a problem. With the proliferation of AI tools and my constant need to optimize both my professional and my personal life, I felt like I was, constantly burnt out and overwhelmed, like I was on a hamster wheel but never making any progress to where I actually want to go. And so when I realized that this anxiety couldn't be optimized away, I knew I had to make a change. So I tried something new. I tried actually slowing down. So at Fuse Tintype, I take people through the century-old process of tintype photography. I do this by welcoming them into a space where time isn't rushed and they get to leave with a heirloom portrait that they get to go home, that they get to cherish for generations. Invented in the 1850s, tintype was the first broadly available form of photography that the world has seen. And then this was improved upon in the 1870s, so it no longer needed the use of harmful chemicals. And so this is the tradition that I'm building upon. So what I do is I coat a metal plate by hand with a photosensitive emulsion, and then once that plate is prepared, I load it into my bellows camera. And then when I take the picture, I remove that plate from the camera and take it into the portable period-accurate darkroom I built, which is pictured here. Develop that picture before bringing it back out into the light to be fixed, which is the moment we see the image appear before our eyes, resulting in a one-of-a-kind image on metal. So from discussions with peers who do this type of photography full-time, I learned that Instagram is really the preferred marketing channel for them. And so based on that, I did some research into what's motivating people to spend their money on this type of picture. And the clear trend that came out was the number one motivator was commemorating life milestones and events. So things like anniversaries, birthdays, or expanding the family. And then people were also interested in the unique experience that it offers, or the legacy of having something outlive yourself, or having a keepsake heirloom that can be passed down. And so these motivators, paired with the fact that there's not very many tintype photographers in Canada right now, and none in the Fraser Valley, I believe this sets me up pretty well to hit the market pretty successfully in the Fraser Valley. So to start, my timeline is looking like I'm going to be spending 75% of my time at pop-ups, and so that's going to be places like bookstores or vintage shops or community events where I can take my pictures but with a lower venue cost. And then 25% of my time will be in a studio rental of some sort. And then after a year, I hope to transition to 75% being in studio, so I can focus more on just the quality, repeatable pictures. Customers will be able to find me easier for scheduling. And then also, I won't have to set up and take down my equipment every day. And then ultimately, the 5-year goal is doing a full-time studio, so 4 or 5 days a week, and with a studio assistant. So. Also, something I learned from discussing with the peers who do this full time is that the universal unexpected cost for this type of photography is just the amount of light that you need to get a good picture, because these plates are very insensitive to light. And so as such, $1,500 of the $3,000 investment will be going to lighting and supportive lighting equipment. $500 will be going to a studio pilot where I invite local influencers and prominent Chilliwackans to a session where they can get free tintype taken. And then this will help me build my social media following and improve my workflows and build my portfolio. And then finally, since I'm still getting started here, I need some operational stuff as well. So getting a website up and running, scheduling page, signage and business cards and that sort of thing. And so really ultimately the goal is that when somebody comes and they sit completely still in front of the camera and they get to watch the image appear right before their eyes, that it can serve as a reminder that beautiful things are still possible when we take our time. So thank you all for your time, and thanks for supporting local artists.
What is the cost per image that you'd be charging individuals?
Yeah, I didn't have time to put that in here, but it's going to be so $90 for a 30-minute session where they get one plate, and then $60 for additional plates if that can be done within the time period. And then the actual material cost of the plates is $12, and so that leaves me enough margin if I'm needing to book spaces like studios or whatever it may be.
Actually, I'll ask you. You have you said it's a portable setup. Your setup is portable, so the idea is you could take it to to somebody's space if they wanted to get a picture taken there, but then you would have to take it back to your darkroom to process, or?
No, so I'm just gonna pop back here. So the wood box there with the red shroud, that's my portable darkroom. And there's also a red window, which you can see right here, so you can see the image being developed if you want to do that. And so this whole thing goes, and then the image will be developed like right in front of them, and then they get to experience the whole thing. Yeah.
So this, the studio rental pilot, the $500, have you done research and identifying spaces that you would be able to use for that, or what's your plan with that?
Yeah, there's a number of studios in town here, and the rental rate can go anywhere from $75, $100 an hour. So for a half-day rental, that's kind of what I'm thinking, and just need to get everybody booked within that time window. Yeah.
And then you spoke about marketing. I didn't see anything, but do you have an Instagram already set up?
Yeah, I do have an Instagram. It's relatively new, but that's kind of that's going to be what I'm leveraging to when I'm having like influencer collaborations, any sort of event where I can benefit from being tagged and other things. Yeah. Mm. All right. Thank you.
Good job, Greg. I'm going the wrong way. We are. Thank you, Greg. Okay, before we dive into our next pitch, I want to take a moment to give a big shout out to one of our amazing supporters, Chilliwack Economic Partners Corporation, or as most of us know them, SEPCO. SEPCO plays a key role in helping our local economy grow and thrive. They're champions for business development, investment attraction, and creating the kind of community where entrepreneurs can truly succeed. From large-scale projects to grassroots support, SEPCO is all about making sure Chilliwack stays a vibrant place to live, work, and start something new. We're grateful for their support tonight and for their ongoing commitment to building up local business, just like the ones you're about to see on stage today. Let's give a big round of applause to SEPCO. Our next finalist is Alexandra, a singer-songwriter crafting songs through life's twists and turns. Her music explores emotion, memory, and connection, capturing the people and places that linger while building a growing collection of heartfelt originals meant to stand the test of time. Let's welcome Alexandra to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alexandra Paul. I'm a singer-songwriter, recording artist, and performer. I've been writing songs for over 5 years, playing music for 15, and last year I won my first awards with the Fraser Valley Music Awards. This began from very humble beginnings. After going through a lot of darkness and traumatic experiences, I was drawn to music to help me move through that pain and find light. After experiencing a lot of healing and freedom, it's something I want to offer to others as my life's work through my songs like Bravery. I released Bravery in 2022, and it's about finding courage through difficult times.
What if all that it takes is a simple step of faith? Will I ever remember bravery?
And a few years later, I released a song called Yarrow Fields. It's about grief and loss, and it's actually named after our very own town, Yarrow, where the story took place.
It's sad that we can't go back to the blue
These songs have been incredibly moving for not only myself, but my listeners. They share how it moves them to tears, gives them goosebumps, or helps them find relief through hard times. It resonates because it comes from raw emotion and real experiences that can be hard to express in the ways it affects our soul. Alongside my original recorded works, I also perform live performances. This is a great way that I love to connect with my listeners live and explore other themes of life, such as loss, love, beauty, and pain.
Take it away. Give it up for Alexandra, everybody.
All right, so the next one is the shower curtain with 3 pieces of string. Oh, man. And after spending the last 3 years of building a supporting following of listeners from playing shows and a lot more open mics, my audience has made it very clear. They're asking for more music and asking for when my next show is. And luckily for them, I've been busy writing many songs behind the scenes that are waiting to be recorded. I'm at a place in my life to grow my passion into a career and elevate it to a standard that is industry ready. This starts by releasing a larger body of work, like an EP project of 4 songs. I wouldn't just release this on streaming platforms, but I would sell it directly as a vinyl record. Not only is this product authentic to who I am and my artistic sound, but it is a product that can grow in value over time, and would also be a tangible body of work that my fans and listeners would be excited to purchase and support. It's because the Gen X loves nostalgia, but they want something new, and Gen Z are returning to the analog ways to have a break from our digitally overstimulated world. With your help of the investment, I would be able to professionally produce and record this EP project that includes production, mixing, and mastering, as well as purchasing a minimum order of 100 vinyl records that I could then sell and generate a $2,000 profit. That would be put back into business assets like an electronic press kit, website, and booking agent to support future opportunities that this project would bring. The opportunity to have a residence at the Chilliwack Cultural Centre would be a perfect venue to release this project and share more of my unreleased songs with the community, so I could make a greater impact creating spaces where people can connect, heal, and feel understood through the power of music and storytelling. Because music doesn't just entertain us, it helps us to survive difficult times while appreciating the beauty of life. And the extra cherry on top for a personal career goal would be creating Canadian classics for the future. Thank you for this opportunity and the Startup Challenge.
Who are your big influences?
My influences has unfolded to Billy Joel, Adele, and Queen, if I'm having some fun. Like last night at karaoke competition that I actually won. But also CCR. I love the 70s, I do. That really is the height and the spirit of music and the way it was meant to be created and brought to life. So that's what gets me really excited about something like doing a vinyl record and recording it live off the floor and that kind of a thing. It makes it feel real, especially in the age of AI. So, yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. How would you define success?
Okay. Well, business success. Probably, I'm kind of over the whole starving artist thing. So probably, a sustainable income stream and cash flow. And so I know I didn't include that within this presentation because I was really getting focused on just this challenge at hand and what the impact of the investment could do. But part of that business model that I've been working on and what that income stream looks like would primarily come from gigs and shows, and then projects like a record and stuff that profit would be used to build towards my business or scale it based on where the needs are for the growth and what feels ready. But yeah, success would just being able to have a steady income flow. That'd be great.
I'm sort of interested and know that you have mentioned you have a really strong following within the Fraser Valley area. How do you see yourself moving outside of our local community into the wider Lower Mainland audience space?
So fun, yeah. So there's definitely a lot more opportunity, I would say, to grow on my Instagram and even Facebook. Facebook is a really cool opportunity for a different demographic that I feel like does resonate with some of my music that, has subtle hints to the 70s, different things that remind them of their times of just really good music. But I feel like there's a huge opportunity to grow on Instagram. It is just an easy way. It's free marketing. I just haven't been able to because I've been so busy with my nose and the piano and just writing all these different things. But I've also been working really hard to make connections. I really believe in the local community and the connections here. Even last night at the karaoke competition, one of the judges knew the board of directors with the Hall of Fame Entertainment. You just never know who knows who, kind of a thing. So I just kind of trust the next step in front of me and whatever that brings to the next, because it can be so overwhelming, especially in a market that is so saturated. It could be very overwhelming to kind of get the wave crashed over you, which I've been there a few times, but I've learned, after keep getting up, you just focus on what's in front of you and making the best out of that. And even there's connections at Star 98.3, I think. She has connections with Rogers Media, and I don't know, so yeah, I'm working with what I've got, but knowing that leads just to the next thing. So, but a very tangible, easy step would be growing on Instagram and just posting more. But yeah, yes, I'll stop there. Oh, I could have kept rambling.
Do you have any shows coming up?
Okay.
Do you have any shows coming up?
Do I do? Oh, you guys, okay, Canada Day Parade. Crazy, it's so funny. I haven't been focusing on shows right now because, I've just been busy writing and recording. But yeah, Canada Day is kind of the next thing, in Abbotsford, actually. So, but I wanted to do, there's the vintage car show here. That's really cool. So making connections with Trevor and stuff like that. So, yep, I'm gonna stop there, rambling. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Don't run away with me. Wow, awesome energy. Thank you so much. We also want to, thank you, Alexandra. We also want to give a huge shout out to the Chilliwack Cultural Centre, another one of our amazing collaborators. The Cultural Centre is proud to support the Art Startup Challenge. Its vision of fearless arts exploration aligns with our mission to champion creativity in the Fraser Valley. We believe artists and audiences thrive when given space to innovate, discover, and transform. Through inclusive programming, the Centre helps build meaningful creative experiences for a growing community. They're committed to supporting diverse artists and new ways of seeing the world. The Art Startup Challenge reflects this spirit by encouraging bold ideas and fresh artistic voices. Together, we can strengthen connections between artists, audiences, businesses, Indigenous residents, and community partners. Let's give the Cultural Centre a big round of applause. Okay, now let's welcome Rose, a 2D animator and media arts graduate, creating visually rich work inspired by existentialism, Hermetic philosophy, and the mysteries of life and death. Through animation and visual storytelling, her practice explores imagination, symbolism, and expression. Let's give our attention to Rose.
All right, hello. My name is Rose Kodka. I'm a 25-year-old visual artist with a bachelor's degree in 2D and experimental animation from Emily Carr. My goal is to build an independent studio known for insightful, visually distinctive storytelling. I've always been drawn to the mysteries of life. What is the nature of existence and why are we here? I began to research these subjects at 16 using art as a way to process my abstract thoughts and concretize them in image. Over time, my creative practice began to offer answers to some of these questions. I believe that our ability to find poetry and harmony in the world is what makes us resilient, unstoppable, and deeply connected to existence itself. This insight inspired me to create my own animation studio, Sentient Rose Studios. The aim of Sentient Rose Studios is to inspire existential wonder through animation. My work explores themes of consciousness, existential philosophy, and mythology. 2 examples of my work include a music video titled Life Has a Cold Dead Body, as shown above. It explores themes of joy and tragedy. The second example is a short film titled Blackbird, about a singing bird who falls in love with a hunter. It explores loneliness and naive love. I believe audiences are hungry for stories that challenge them emotionally and philosophically, not just provide 90 minutes of entertainment. Mainstream film has become increasingly risk-averse. Corporate studios suffer from franchise dependency, market homogenization, and algorithm-driven trends. As a result, sequels and remakes dominate the industry, creating emotionally predictable storytelling with limited stylistic differentiation. Creative freedom requires independence from corporate interference. Through faster experimentation and lower overhead, my studio can develop a strong and unique artistic identity. With the growing demand for authentic, creator-driven art, I'm confident in my studio's potential for growth and broad appeal. In 2026, YouTube released a culture and trends report supporting this shift towards independent animation. The report found that 61% of young adult animation fans enjoyed series created by independents as much or more than those created by major studios. Audiences are seeking artists who create from a genuine passion for their craft, not commercial trends. My target demographic is primarily young adults aged 16 to 30. However, anyone interested in philosophy, psychology, mythology, or art house animation would be interested in my work. These audiences are niche, underserved, and highly loyal when deeply engaged. These are examples of different types of clients who I've worked with thus far. They include musicians, small businesses, art galleries, and authors. I charge them through predetermined rates and start every collaboration with a legally reviewed contract. This is not just an animation practice, it's an IP development studio. By streamlining various sources of revenue, such as advertisements on online content or commissions, I'm confident that my studio can create a stable financial foundation. I formulated a 3-tier revenue model designed to balance stable income streams with passion projects. The first channel focuses on low-risk, high-trust projects, including commissions, freelance work, and studio subcontracting. These avenues provide consistent cash flow, portfolio growth, and industry relationships. The second channel includes low to medium risk projects, such as adaptations of classic literature or mythology. This allows me to build original visual branding, retain adaptation rights, and develop commercially viable content with existing audience appeal. The final channel is supported by the previous 2, along with grants and investors. This category consists of original stories, works expanding IP ownership. Current operational costs focus on scalable production tools, including upgraded drawing hardware, industry-standard animation software, and print materials. The allocation of $3,000 towards these investments would significantly improve both the speed and quality of my animation, along with its potential for growth this year. My current projection for 2026 is the production of a children's book titled Oliver's Tree, which I plan to self-publish and sell through local businesses. I plan to later produce an animated adaptation of this. Over the next 2 years, I aim to expand my team, produce longer short films, and screen my work at local venues and festivals. Long-term, I plan to establish a proprietary venue for ticketed showings. The Cultural Center residency is an opportunity I'm especially excited about. It would allow me to collaborate with other artists, expand my audience, and explore teaching opportunities. Sentient Rose Studios creates animated works that function not only as entertainment, but as philosophical and cultural experiences. One thing AI cannot do is create out of pain, love, and the investment of limited time and energy. This is what gives my art a living edge. All in all, my aim is to express my love for humanity within the heart of every work. Thank you.
You'll have to forgive me. Is this working? I don't know. That this is going to be the educator in me coming out.
Yes.
So I have a comment slash question that will lead into a question.
Yes.
Which is that I think our era, this current era, whatever you want to define it as,
Yeah.
is categorized by existential dread, right? And uncertainty around the future.
Yes.
So I think there is perhaps saying that your audience is folks interested in philosophy and mythology might be limiting yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think it has broader impact than just people that are interested in that because of everything going on in the world.
Yeah.
And this leads me into this question: how did you get onto this line of thinking? How did this theme start to drive you, Rose? What's your interest in it?
Yeah. So at the beginning of my presentation, I mentioned getting into it when I was around 16. I was one of those Gen Z girls who was experiencing a lot of existential dread about the future. And I felt life was very meaningless, and I couldn't really make heads or tails of why I was here, why I was alive, what it meant. And it led me down different rabbit holes of exploring philosophy and existential works, where I realized that I think that the through hole through this phase of nihilism and uncertainty is being creative. And I found that like whenever I would create something, I wouldn't really be thinking that much about it, and I would just be expressing. And the act of doing that, I find, is almost like somehow an antidote to that nihilism, because it reminds you that just the act of being here and being able to do that is meaningful in itself. And then it's like that cliche, like create your own meaning type thing. Yeah.
Actually, I'd just be curious, what artists were your influences, actually, especially if you went to Emily Carr?
Yeah, okay, so for illustrators, I was really influenced by Goya. You can see at the beginning of my slide that I did a pencil drawing, and I was super interested in how Goya does dark imagery and in a very scratchy and black and white way. I really like him. And I'm also interested in Nina Paley, who I'm randomly interviewing next week. She's an animator. She does like a lot of mythological themed animations. She did something called Sita Sings the Blues, which is an animated film. And then she did one on the story of Exodus. And she combines a lot of like different, like she like combines new media and like new songs and then juxtaposes them over these like interesting visuals that are simple. She just uses puppets, but then the theme is like so deep and culturally relevant that it's like just the mixture of all the things that she incorporates really inspired me. Also, Yuri Norstein has incredible, he's a Russian animator. He does animations with his wife. He does incredibly detailed puppets, and I just love the heart of his work. He's also doing an animation based off of like a literary Russian novel. I really love him, but he's very painstaking with his work. It's like the amount of time it takes for him to do anything is like literally like decades, literally decades. I really love him. I like obviously Felix Colgrave. He's got really interesting animations on YouTube that are extremely creative and visually original. And there's a bunch of other ones, different illustrators. Random, even like musicians, inspired me a lot too.
Have you submitted any of your work to like the festival circuits, like some of your animated shorts or any of your work like that for getting some more exposure?
Yeah, I'm finishing up a music video right now, the one called Life Has a Cold Dead Body. I'm almost done that one, and I plan to submit it to the Chilliwack Film Festival or use it as pitches for another project that I'm planning on doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. I think that JL is going to have a pitch himself on things that are coming up at the Cultural Center. Epidermis, I feel Epidermis Circus should be, was spoken about here today. Okay, thank you, Rose. We're also thrilled to recognize the support of the Chilliwack Museum and Archives. The museum isn't just about preserving our past, it's about inspiring our future. Through storytelling, education, and community engagement, they help connect us to the roots of this place that we call home. And tonight, they're helping support the next generation of storytellers our entrepreneurs. Whether it's through business, art, or innovation, we're all contributing to Chilliwack's evolving story. And thanks to the museum and archives, that story keeps getting richer. Let's give a warm thank you to the Chilliwack Museum and Archives for being part of tonight's journey. Okay, up next we have Jasmine Hope. Jasmine Hope is inspired by childhood creativity and the natural world, creating work that explores the connection between people, landscapes, flora, and fauna. Through painting and poetry, her art celebrates imagination, cultural heritage, and nature. Let's hear what she's building.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Hope Harris, and I'm a Sri Lankan Nishka artist based here in Chilliwack. I create nature-based artwork that helps people process emotions by connecting with the land. For the past 7 years, I've worked as a forest school educator with kids aged 3 to 5. I draw animals and plants found in our forests and turn them into coloring sheets and teaching aids. I've watched children become emotionally grounded by connecting with the land. Most of my fine artwork has been established in interconnectedness. Plants and animals refer back to Nishka words my grand taught me, and the feelings I associate with belonging, land, and memory. I explored this particular fine artwork series on grief alongside illustration studies at Emily Carr. Last year, after losing my gran, I began to notice something. The same sense of emotional grounding I find in nature is something kids are searching for too. Many children struggle to process overwhelming feelings. Here the boy is crying, but his attention is caught. Drawn in by the magical snail slime, he begins to hear something, music coming from the slime trail. This is the foundation of my project, an illustrated kids book designed to help children move through big emotions by connecting to the land. As interest grows in screen-free educational tools, families and educators are seeking resources that help kids feel more connected outside and interested in land stewardship. What started as making memories of my son growing up quickly turned into a narrative to help my students feel calm and curious. The snail guides the boy along to find an enchanted forest full of plants and animals that are there to support him. My audience includes parents of children aged 3 to 8, forest school educators, early childhood educators, and elementary school teachers. Other books don't combine emotional regulation with specific coastal BC illustrations. They may offer wonder, appreciation, generic forests. Ecology content can become factually heavy or oversimplified in young readers' markets. My focus is on the relationship, not just information or scenery. I combine our local landscapes with imagination, allowing kids to see that the land supports us and we support the land. I design the work to engage them into emotional resilience. This book becomes the foundation to extended offerings, art camps for kids, prints, and merchandise. I have 11 illustrations completed and am projecting to complete the rest within the next year. I will offer art camps to build more connections with my audience and grow the brand. After publishing, I'll offer public reading events and promote the work online. This sets me up to build an art curriculum and merchandise in the future. I'm requesting the $3,000 to support the professional editing and printing needed to self-publish a first edition and market the book and art camps. I plan to self-publish in order to retain creative control and test market demand. Hardcover illustrated books typically retail at $26 each. And for the first year, I plan to test run 100 books to test demand, pricing, and gather testimonials. This can generate a $5,000 revenue combined with the workshops. After production and marketing costs, I estimate $1,000 in profit. This plan allows me to build illustrator credibility to attract literary agents. If I have high demand, I can attract attention from a literary agent, sell my rights to the first run, and improve future editions through a publishing house. If the attention remains local, I can offer a second print run scaled to demand. Self-publishing is a strategic choice that allows me to lead with my creative vision while building interest around the work. Because the book extends into art camps and merchandise, maintaining ownership is essential to the long-term sustainability of my studio. When literary agents see that an illustrator can build scalable work, they're inclined to represent them. I want to test the market responsibly, reduce inventory risk, and grow organically through my community. This is a book that takes the smallest human's journey with grief and invites them into a natural sense of wonder. If you want to connect more deeply with nature or help young ones build their curiosity, this book is worth exploring. When children feel connected to the land, they don't just feel less alone, they begin to care for it. That's where the emotional and environmental impact begin. Thanks.
So you're wanting
So you're wanting to self-publish, and how do you anticipate getting the word out and marketing yourself? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
I currently work for a forest school in Abbotsford, and I've been there for about 7 years, so I've made a lot of family connections there, connections with other families. And I started substituting for the Chilliwack Forest School as well this year. And just there are a lot of forest schools in the Lower Mainland and Vancouver area. And so my plan is to do what we call story walks and to promote the book through like these public reading events, so where you can laminate the pages and have kids walking through interested in the book. I'd also love to do public readings with libraries and schools and just get in where the kids are and where parents can see that their kids are interested in a magical snail.
Thank you, Jasmine. Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years with this project?
I would love to have my own studio set up for kids to come in on the art camps, not just meeting in a park somewhere. I'm used to teaching kids one-on-one and in the group of, like 12 3-year-olds, but I'd love to expand to 12 15-year-olds, 12 10-year-olds, and have them in our own personal studio. So I have that almost set up, but just creating the marketing to get them in there. I'd also like to begin my next book. I'm not done. I have a lot of stories in me, so just keep illustrating.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jasmine Hope. Before we go any further, I want to give a heartfelt thank you to someone who's been a huge supporter of the Chilliwack entrepreneurial scene, Tim McAlpine of Cowork Chilliwack and Studio C, where we sit tonight. When we were practicing earlier, he was blah, blah, blah. It's not going to happen this time, Tim. Tim has created more than just a workspace. He's built a community. Cowork Chilliwack is a hub where ideas collide, businesses grow, and connections are made over coffee and whiteboards. Tim's passion for supporting startups and creatives is felt by everyone who walks through these doors. We're so grateful for your ongoing support, your generosity, and your belief in what we're building here. Tim has been behind the scenes all evening, making sure our tech runs smoothly, and we're so grateful to him and the Cowork team for letting us use this fantastic studio space tonight. Thank you for making this event possible, Tim. Let's give a big round of applause for Tim McAlpine and Cowork Chilliwack and Studio C. Next up is Jacqueline. Jacqueline is a contemporary artist creating vibrant portrait paintings inspired by nature, emotion, and the outdoors. Through expressive layers, organic forms, and rich color palettes, the work celebrates beauty, connection, and the sacredness in all living things. Let's hear from Jacqueline.
I believe the art we live with shapes how we feel every day. It reflects who we are. A house can hold objects, or it can hold meaning, connection, and personality, and that's where my work steps in. My name is Jacqueline Sturzel, and I'm a contemporary wildlife and botanical painter based in Chilliwack. My business centers around creating original paintings while building long-term relationships with collectors through exhibitions, online marketing, and limited-run print releases. My work is deeply inspired by nature. As a child, I had experiences in nature that felt like magic. Running through the woods at summer camp, seeing a moose on a trail during a field trip, and catching snakes and frogs in the fields behind my home. I create paintings that aim to capture that same feeling of wonder and excitement, while giving collectors artwork that feels alive and meaningful within their homes. Many wildlife paintings lean traditional, while more contemporary pieces can be abstract or illustrative in approach. I create work that exists between these two approaches. Using expressive abstract backgrounds and realistic subjects, my paintings retain the beauty of the subject with the movement and energy of more contemporary expressive pieces. I chose the two prior artists as examples as they're currently exhibiting at retail galleries I am planning on approaching in the next year, allowing you to directly compare my work to the current contemporary art market. Since beginning my professional career in 2022, I've shown in more than 20 juried group exhibitions and received an honorable mention at the 2025 Bloom Show through the Federation of Canadian Artists. More recently, I participated in the Square Foot Show where I sold 3 paintings in 2 days, and I've also begun testing marketing strategies. Local print marketing and targeted Instagram promotion have both successfully increased audience engagement and show attendance. Currently, I sell original paintings through word of mouth and juried group shows, but I'm now expanding into larger art fairs and established exhibitions to reach a wider audience. This includes events like the Westvine Art Show, which generated approximately $40,000 in sales over 3 days last September. One of my key goals over the next year is to secure representation with at least one retail gallery. This would give me year-round visibility and access to established collector bases. I also plan to introduce limited-run print releases tied to each collection. This creates more accessible entry points for collectors while building engagement due to limited availability and helps develop long-term relationships that can lead to original art sales down the line. In addition, I'm being considered for a coaching role through the Milan Art Institute. If selected, this would provide an additional monthly income stream of $1,000 US. My original paintings currently range from $550 to $6,000, depending on the scale, while prints will be offered for $100 to $150. Based on past sales and Instagram analytics, my target market is women 35 to 45 who are looking for artwork that feels personal and meaningful. Within that audience, I see 2 distinct groups, those who feel deeply connected to nature and wildlife, and those who want bold, expressive paintings to give individuality to their homes. My survey results reinforce this clearly. 75% of respondents said that visual style was one of the most important factors when purchasing art, while 53% said trust in the artist is what ultimately made them feel comfortable purchasing. These insights strongly support my focus on storytelling, social media marketing, and fostering long-term collector relationships. My survey research also helped identify the biggest barriers preventing people from purchasing original art, mainly affordability, timing, and confidence in buying online. Those insights directly shape my business strategy. I now offer payment plans through my website, the limited run print releases at lower price points, and I have a stronger focus on in-person exhibitions and gallery representation. I am requesting $3,000 in funding to strengthen the business backbone behind my art practice. These funds would support an email marketing platform to nurture collector relationships and promote future print releases more effectively, participation in the Westvine Art Show in September, targeted Instagram advertising. I've consistently seen 200 to 300 followers per $50 spent, making it one of my strongest growth tools. And continued membership with the Society of Professional Artists, which has already directly given me exhibition opportunities and sales, including the show earlier this year where I sold 3 paintings. My long-term goal is to build a thriving, sustainable art business. While I'm still early in my career, I already have growing traction, a defined audience, measurable customer insights, and a focused strategy for growth. The wonder I felt exploring the outdoors as a child still inspires me today, and I want to create paintings that help people bring a little bit more of that feeling into their everyday lives, to help them connect to nature and self-expression through the spaces they live in. Thank you.
question about, I guess, the volume of production that you're able to achieve. So a painting like this, for instance, how many could you produce in a year?
So I actually was in the West Fine Art Show in May. It was my first time showing with them, which is why I'm hopeful I'll get into the September show. And for that, I had to create 9 paintings. I had existing, but I had to create 9 new paintings to fill my booth space. I was given 30 linear feet of wall, and I did those 9 paintings in 2 months while in this program, while having a full-time job. While that is not a maintainable pace, it is something I can pull out when I need to. So hopefully in the future, I can move more towards having more time for my art, and then my production will be able to go up from there.
From the art show, did you actually receive any commissions, or are you currently working on any commissions?
I'm not working on any commissions. I sold prints, and a lot of people took business cards, started following me, joined my email newsletter, but it has not resulted in commissions yet. I do have, or at least I used to have, a commissions page on my website. I believe it's still there. I've got a system in place for a contract, deposits, things like that. So it is something I've done in the past. I just don't have any recently.
One more question then.
Yeah.
You described your target audience as women, and I'm wondering if you can expand upon why.
Yeah, so I have had customers that are men, but the vast majority of people that seem drawn to my art are women, and I feel like it's tied to the fact that I pour a lot of emotion into my art. And for me, although I don't talk about it a lot, it is part of my spiritual practice. It's a way for me to work through things. It's a way for me to explore parts of myself I don't even know are there, and they kind of reveal themselves as I go, and I feel like that really resonates with a lot of women. But like going back to people who are interested in nature and wildlife, one of my best customers so far is a gentleman who works locally and does riparian area repair and is also a SARS member, and he's an outdoorsy kind of guy. So it does also translate to men, but I just find the vast majority, I think 85% of my Instagram followers are women, in the 35 to 45 range, and then just the people I see at shows who respond to my work the most tend to be women. Yeah, you're welcome.
Any other questions down the line? No? Go ahead, Debbie.
I have one final question.
Sure.
What has been one of your challenges to date?
Yeah, so I'm a CPA, I'm an accountant. I have a full-time, high complexity position. And my biggest challenge has been learning how to balance that with the time to do my art. And it's been something that I've really worked on, and I feel like I finally kind of nailed down my process this year because I had to get ready for that big show. It's just a matter of protecting my time, protecting my space, and making it a priority, and making sure that I keep telling myself this is something that's really important to me, and setting aside that time. Means I didn't see friends a whole lot for the last 2 months, but it was worth it. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think she forgot to mention that it was also tax season. Okay, so I would like to just take this moment to give all the 5 finalists, those ones, another big round of applause for their courage, creativity, and the powerful visions they've shared with us tonight. Thank you. So we do have a few things coming up. While our judges are going to step away to deliberate and make their final decisions, we're going to take a 30-minute break. That's all they have, and I'm going to use my bell because I need to use it at least one time at some point. During this time, we invite you to mingle and connect with the artists and your fellow guests. Please enjoy the drinks and the desserts and appetizers, and most importantly, cast your vote for the People's Choice Award. When you go through your program, you'll find it in there. The ballot box is at the entrance today, so we want you to make sure you fill out one ballot for your favorite person. or your favorite pitch of the night. The artist who receives the most votes will be announced later this evening and will take home a brand photography package from our last year's winner, Brooke Cote. Okay, we'll see you back here shortly for the big reveal. Judges, we're going to go.
I'm pretty sure. I left no sheet behind. The washroom door is locked.
We have all that judge. Oh, we're waiting on these. We're live. I saw the live sign. Yeah, Tim's like, we're live. We're just waiting on 2 people, Tim. What's that? Yeah. All right, welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a chance to connect, enjoy some refreshments, and cast your vote, which we know you did. What an incredible evening it's been. Thank you again for being here to celebrate our local artists and entrepreneurs. And tonight isn't just about our finalists. It's about celebrating all of the artists that took part in the 2026 Art Startup Challenge. Over the past 8 weeks, 9 local creatives committed their time and energy to building sustainable businesses rooted in their art. Every single one of them brought something unique to this challenge, and we are so proud of what they've accomplished. After we've announced our winners, we'll bring all the participants up here onto the stage that are here to celebrate and to get a group photo at the front. Now, let's get to the moment that you've all been waiting for. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, so fun. It's official. Okay, first up is the People's Choice Award, voted by you, our audience, for your favorite pitch of the evening. It was really hard. I'm just going to say it was really hard with all the judges in the room to really crack down and get them, to make a decision. So the recipient of the People's Choice Award will receive a brand photo package from Brooke Cote, who was, again, our last year's winner. So thank you, Brooke, for participating in this challenge with us. The People's Choice Award winner is Rose. Come on up. Congratulations. So we don't have anything for you right now, but we will get you something after. So congratulations. Right? Speech. Okay, next up is our second prize winner, who will receive $1,500 in cash and in-kind services to help launch their creative business. The second place winner is Jasmine Hope Harris. Congratulations. We're so excited for you. There we go. Okay. And our final winner of the 26 Art Startup Challenge will receive $3,000 to help launch their creative business plus a residency at the Chilliwack Cultural Center. And the winner is Rose. There you go. Maybe you want to say a little something. You want to say something?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for Megan. She's been a great help. She's really helped me clarify my vision for my business. And thank you for my entire cohort. They've been so supportive. It's been very cute.
That's so awesome. We're so excited and so proud of all of our finalists and participants. And just a reminder to everybody that was in the Art Startup Challenge, we want you to come back to Community Futures, come and talk to us and let us help you build your business. So thank you for sharing your creativity, your vision, and your courage with us tonight. That is what community-driven innovation looks like. As we wrap up this unforgettable evening, I want to offer one of my heartfelt thank you to everyone who made tonight possible. To our finalists and participants, your courage, creativity, and drive are truly inspiring. To our judges, thank you for lending your insight and experience to help shape the future of all of these ventures. To our program supporters, including Chilliwack Arts Council, SEPCO, the Chilliwack Museum and Archives, Community Futures South Fraser, the Chilliwack Cultural Centre, and CoWork Chilliwack, thank you for backing creative entrepreneurship in our community. To our partners at the Chilliwack Arts Council, and especially Lise Oakley, thank you for your vision and commitment to the local arts scene. Megan, thank you for supporting the entrepreneurs to be better every single week. Your genuine spirit has brought this team of individuals together as supporters, feedback givers, champions, and experts. None of this was possible without you. And to all of you, our guests, our community, and those tuning in on our YouTube live stream, thank you for being here and helping us celebrate what's possible when creativity and community come together. And to my team for their support. Julia, Teresa, and Lacey, for committing to nights like tonight. Thank you for all that you do for Community Futures and for impacting the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We all can't wait to see what these artists build next. For those of you viewing on YouTube, we're now going to sign off. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you at the next Startup Challenge. At this time, I would like to invite all of our Art Startup Program participants to come up to the front for a group photo. But before we do that, I think that Lise is just going to take a moment to thank our judges for all of their hard work with just a little gift. Yeah.
We're not live streaming.
Yeah, it's done. We're good. I kind of kept forgetting about that.